otherwise I cannot take the class like this. Good afternoon, everyone. So, for right now, just before attending, like before starting the class, if you guys can be, like very helpful over here. So we will take just 30 seconds, silence for what we lost today. Is like Lata Mangeshkar ji, वो जा चुकी हैं, और she's dead now. So we will just, pay our tribute to her for just 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds silence, I really request you to pray for her soul, that her soul may rest in peace. Thank you guys, like I can really pray for her soul. Thank you. So yeah, we will start with what we were discussing yesterday, because today's class title was like monopoly and imperfect, but we did not complete till now our consumer behavior and indifference curve analysis. So today we will deal with that, okay? And I hope you all got the PPTs which I shared in the group, और मैंने आई थिंक सिलेबस भी शेयर कर दिया है, एंड रीडिंग जो मैंने की जो रीडिंग रेफर्ड है दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में, वो भी मैंने आपसे शेयर कर दिया. तो आई थिंक दैट वुड बी फाइन फॉर यू गाइस side. So I think we had done till here that marginal utility analysis, like we had to do, I think, ordinal one today. So we were just seeing that ordinal and cardinal approach, that what is the difference between cardinal and ordinal. In cardinal, we were giving it a numeric numbers, like if an apple is of like 10 rupees worth, then we are just saying that it is of 10 rupees utility we are getting from it. But in ordinal, we were just saying that apple is better than orange, or better than any other fruit. So we were just ordering the apple over there. Now ordinal approach, देखो ordinal approach जो है वो indifference curve analysis का it's a base. So you have to just understand it, and marginal utility का concept, which I have already told you guys, that that marginal utility whenever we consume the successive unit, it diminishes. And ordinal approach के base पर ही हम indifference curve analysis करेंगे, because we are talking about the orders, like ranking things. In ordinal approach, the ordinalist school क्या postulate करता है, like in postulate utility is not measurement, like but it is an ordinal magnitude. Like consumer need not in a specific units the utility of various commodities. मतलब I'll not say that कि okay from this class you are getting like 20 utility. No, that is your choice. Like that depends upon this is the better class, or this is the worst class, or this is like better than this one, or whatever the comparison you can make. But the satisfaction you are getting from it, we cannot count in numbers. Or in the general terms, we देखा we cannot actually count our like satisfaction level in numbers. So it is needed that we have to rank the various commodities. Suppose maybe today's like this class is there, and maybe you had to go with your peer group to some restaurant or just hang out, or you want to watch some TV program. Then you will rank all these choices in front of you, and the maximum satisfaction you get from whatever the satisfaction you need to get from the commodity or from these three choices, you will choose that particular choice. That okay, I can watch TV later on, or I can hang out with my friends later on, but I have to attend the class. So now you had chosen this. So maybe you had just given an ordinal choice, like first rank to this choice. So the main ordinal theories are indifference curve approach or revealed preference hypothesis. Cardinal approach में what do we see, that cardinalist school, it postulates that utility can be measured. हमने उसमें मेजर कर ली थी, like एप्पल 10 रुपीज का तो 10 हमें मिल रहा है, ऑरेंज 20 रुपीज का तो 20 numbers of utility we are getting from it. Now, under certainty of the full knowledge about the market conditions and income levels, some economists have suggested that utility can be measured in monetary units. Utils, जिसको हमने बोला. तो cardinal में we were actually calculating it with whatever we were paying for that commodity, then we were getting that sort of utility. अब now if you see the difference दोनों में क्या है, so ordinal utilities consumption can't be measured. But in cardinal, consumption can be measured. Like whatever we are consuming, it can be measured in numbers. In ordinal, utility is used for grading or ranking the products. मतलब orange is better than apple, or apple is better than orange, whatever it is the case. But in cardinal approach, in cardinal is like uses utils which help to understand how much utility is deriving from the consumption of the product. Now the ordinal utility is much less compared. Cardinal means comparative study, like cardinal because we can compare because of the utils, like we are giving it a number, so we know that higher number belongs to what and lower number belongs to what. So and ordinal approach is conceptual and practical. Practical why? Because in real sense we cannot calculate our satisfaction. I'm having a cup of tea right now, and I'm having this much of satisfaction. No, I cannot define that thing. So, but when we talk about the cardinal utility, cardinal says that it's just a, because we have to measure the things, that's why we are just assuming it as a number. And it is a ordinal means convex function. Convex function you will understand because here we are talking about two commodities. When we will talk about indifference curve, then we will get to know about the convex function. Like it is a convex curve, and concave curve is cardinal curve is concave curve. And here it is a qualitative measure, ordinal one, and cardinal is quantitative number. So when we talk about like satisfaction from the consumption of a combination of goods and services, that is the ordinal one. But here, satisfaction consumption of one good at a time, we are talking the cardinal one. So in ordinal, we will talk about the combination of goods, not only one good. In cardinal, we are talking about only one good. Now here comparisons can be made in the utility derived from the two products. Like suppose there is an orange and there is an apple. We can just compare all these things, all these two things. But here I am just focusing on the independent utility derived from an apple, like in cardinal one. I'm not comparing. Obviously, if I'm talking about orange, then I'm maybe just getting 20 utils of satisfaction from it. Or if I'm getting an apple, then 10 rupees of satisfaction I'm getting it. But I'm just talking about one product at a time. But in ordinal approach, it will give a sense of preferences. Like there are two commodities and which bundle you want to choose, so it will give you the preferences. So you can actually choose the bundle of goods. Now through this approach brings out the preferences of the one product over other two, like, but this does not imply in the like normal situations between the choices. You cannot differentiate in the choices. Here in ordinal one, we are just talking about two bundles, okay? Like we can compare if we are taking 10 apples or 20 or like whatever 5 oranges, or are we more satisfied in 10 oranges or 5 apples. So here we talk about the bundles of the goods. I hope that is clear. आगे और clear हो जाएगा, तो just have a patience. Concept of consumer behavior. Consumer behavior क्या होता है ना? It demands actually more and more things. Our human needs are like that. We want more and more of some stuff. So it's like consumer behavior. It is a study of the how individual customers and groups or organizations they select, buy, use, and dispose the ideas and the goods and services to satisfy their needs and wants. So whatever they are paying, they want the maximum satisfaction out of it. Like whatever your budget constraint. So we will talk about the consumer optimal choice also. So whatever consumer wants and can afford actually, that gives it the best satisfaction. So there is an equilibrium point. It refers to the action of the consumer in the marketplace and underlying motives for those actions. Of consumer behavior क्या होता है? It is a decision process actually. Whenever you go to the market, you try to choose some better product for yourself. So it's a physical activity that you have to go to market or whatever. Like it's online right now, so you can just go to the website and just try to choose your product. So which individual engaged in when evaluating, acquiring, using or disposing goods. Like you are actually evaluating the qualities. अब आप जैसे online भी जाते हो, like market में like Amazon, Flipkart, or wherever you want to go for the online purchasing. Then you evaluate, your worth of that like product and your money also. And when you want to like acquiring it, like आप say like purchase करते हो or whatever, like आप उसको use करते हो. So this is it is a decision process and physical activity which involves like evaluating, acquiring, using and disposing of the goods. So here now we have to understand how these consumers actually behave in the market. So here, like to understand consumer behavior, we are not talking about individuals, but we are actually summating the market behavior, like how these all individual customers or individual consumers, how they make the choices. So first we will try to understand what factors influence the consumer behavior. So one is marketing factors. Like obviously you can see whenever you go to the market and you'll just think about, okay, you have to purchase a toothpaste. So sudden in your mind Colgate appears because you had seen several times that Colgate advertisement. And so you go to the shopkeeper and just say that please give me Colgate. You don't say that like give me other toothpaste or whatever, like. So because you had seen many times the advertisement of Colgate, so you go there and you say that like give me a Colgate. So that is the marketing factors. If some product has been advertised a lot of time, it actually penetrated your mind already, like your perception change हो गया उस चीज के लिए. So definitely जो marketing factors हैं, like उसका product का packing कैसा है, like how does it, like उसकी distribution, how easily available it is in the market. On the basis of these factors you decide your choices. Now the personal factors such as age, gender, education and income level. Definitely, if when you were younger, you had a different sort of choices. Now you are, adult and you are having a different sort of choices now. Your gender preference, because gender, on the basis of like, obviously you will have the different sort of clothing style. So your choices differ. In education also, like it depends, it changes your choices. And income, definitely, because of the higher income you can afford many things, and because of the lower income you cannot afford many things. So now psychological factors such as buying motivation. perception of the budget, like product, and attitude towards the product. So here psychological factors really matter. If some product is like really good but it is not packed well, so maybe my psychological say no, I won't take this product. Like we can just based on that product perception we change, and our perception can be changed through the advertisement, through the marketing things. So situational factors is what? Situational factors is such as physical surrounding at the time of purchase, social surrounding, and time factors. Obviously, if the market is very nearby, suppose like when you compare these Amazon or Flipkart or whatever the Myntra and all whatever the online sites for shopping, then you just compare them with like services. So how easily can the services be? So if you get like just like within the day or within 2 days you can get the return, then obviously you will go for that. If you don't like the product, the service reply will be much better, like how they provide you the customer service. So you on the situational factors also, because here I'm talking about online market, but whenever there's a physical market, then you will think like how much far do you have to go? How much time do you have to go in that market? So these sort of situational factors work. Social factors such as like social status, reference groups, and family, because our social factors they are very important, for your choices. You take decision based on your social surroundings. Sometimes, like when you are like living alone, it doesn't matter much. When you are with your peer group, you will see that your choices just change just like that, because you are seeing different things, and there is peer pressure also, like to be the part of the group. Your choices change. Cultural factors also definitely, the different sort of culture will be demanding a different sort of clothing style, or maybe need-based things or whatever, like even the food habits change. So many cultural factors are there which changes our choices. Now the consumer behavior, we have to understand the consumer behavior. It is not static, it can be changed. Maybe today you are purchasing something, maybe Android phone, and because of whatever the influence, you can change your choices to iPhone. So that your behavior, the consumer behavior is not static actually. It changes through many factors which are working in surroundings, like marketing factor, like psychological factors, like social factors. They change your perceptions and taste and preferences. Now varies from consumer to consumer. Obviously, if you want to choose something that may not be working for me and may not be working for your friend, so definitely, it's a different sort of choices for everybody. Now it varies from region to region and country to country. Information on consumer behavior is important to the marketers. So, that information is very important. Like how much of the product, like how much that product is useful for you. That is also very important. Now, factors for marketing decisions. Whenever we actually try to market some product, we are talking about product design, its model, its promotion, its positioning in the market, its pricing of the product, and packaging and place of the distribution. So like we are actually trying to change things in this way. Just a minute, product design, pricing of the product, promotion of the product, packaging, positioning, and place of the distribution. So these factors are just changing the market decisions. Now it leads to the purchase decision. Varies from product to product, definitely improves the standard of living, reflects the status of the consumer. So consumer is always trying, to take the best decision for the purchase. Now it varies from product to product and improves the standard of living. So reflects status of a customer. Obviously, when your status is very high, you're gonna purchase very, like sort of very costly or expensive things. So a higher indifference curve shows a higher level of satisfaction than a lower one. Or a consumer in his attempt to maximize satisfaction will try to reach the highest possible indifference curve. Because suppose what is a budget line? Budget line to understand that you cannot afford beyond your budget. Whatever you can, like what is the demand, we say. We are desiring something and we are actually able to afford that. So when these things doesn't match, then there is definitely no demand. So to have the demand, we have a budget constraint. Like beyond the budget, the things are not affordable for us. So when we talk about a higher indifference curve, it shows a higher level of satisfaction than a lower one. So higher indifference curve, higher satisfaction, lower indifference curve, lower satisfaction. So we always want to go for the higher satisfaction. Now a consumer, in his attempt to maximize satisfaction, will try to reach the highest possible indifference curve. Because human tendency है वो हमेशा maximum satisfaction पे पहुंचने की होती है. So we always try to go to the higher indifference curve, but there is a budget constraint. So whenever the budget line is tangent to that indifference curve, only that indifference curve we can afford. अगर budget line से ऊपर है तो definitely we cannot afford that indifference curve. मतलब means that sort of satisfaction. So in pursuit of buying more and more goods, he will obtain more and more satisfaction. But he has to pay the prices for that good. He has a limited money income and wish to produce the good. So we can actually go for the higher satisfaction upon thinking about the Rolls Royce, but definitely I cannot purchase it. So I'm just thinking it. Like obviously it will give me the best satisfaction ever, but I cannot afford it. So the budget line, we are constraining ourselves with the budget line. Our budget line shows all these combinations of two goods. Like here, if you can see my cursor over here, this is the budget line. So with this budget line, we can purchase this much of this good and this much of this good. But beyond this budget line, the things are like not affordable. And under the budget line, all things are affordable. So if my budget is not there, so obviously the things I cannot afford. So consumer can buy expanding as given money income at their given prices. All these combinations which are within the reach of the consumer will lie on the budget line. So whatever like we want to actually exhaust our budget line, and whatever the point is here, like this point, this point, this point. So maybe this combination, maybe this combination, or this combination, we can purchase any combination on the budget line. Okay, and now the consumer budget states that the real income or purchasing power of the consumer from which he can purchase certain quantitative bundles of two goods. So we are purchasing here, ordinal approach we have to consider, and we are talking about two goods. So we are talking about apple or oranges altogether. Like maybe we are spending our income on two goods, that is apple or oranges. So we are purchasing this much of apples and this much of oranges. So we are actually trying to, at a given price, we are trying to purchase all these combinations. Now the key points for budget line. What are the key points? A budget line separates what is affordable and what is not affordable. Obviously, when we don't want to take loan to purchase something and get debited So budget line slopes downward as one or more good can be bought by decreasing some units of other good. So if we have to exhaust the budget line, we have to purchase two goods and we have to increase one and decrease the other one. Now bundles which cost exactly equal to the consumer's money income lie on the budget line. So budget which cost less than the consumer's money income show under spending. Obviously, if the budget se niche hai, we are not spending our full income. So they lie inside the budget line, and whenever we are actually on the budget line, we are just exhausting our income, and we cannot afford beyond that. So bundles which cost more than consumer money income are not available for the consumer. They lie outside the budget line. So why the budget line is so important? We wanted to just understand the consumer behavior. So for a consumer behavior, obviously his income also matters. And when we are talking about, indifference curve, the choices, the bundles of good he wants to choose, we will try to choose the best bundle. Here, budget set. Now, you cannot answer, but if you will reply me over here on the chat box, so it will be better. So when I talk about like a budget set or opportunity set includes all possible consumptions. We have different sort of consumption, like C consumption, E consumption, B, A, D. So what good will be better for you? Just tell me, like अभी तक मैंने जितना समझाया उसमें what combination will be better for you? So according to the graph, like good X and good Y are the two commodities. This is good X, this is good Y. We had taken on the vertical axis. PQ is the budget line. So this is the budget line. Beyond this, not affordable things. Inside, we can all afford these all combinations. But the possible consumption of X and Y are represented as like A, B. Like we can just have this much of good Y and this much of good X. Maybe this much of good Y and this much of X. This much of Y and this much of X. So we can choose these bundles. But in the combinations of good above the budget constant, it's not affordable. So here in this diagram, these all are the we can just choose any bundle. But which bundle will be the best? You can answer me in the chat box. I'll just see like after just 10 or 20 minutes, I'll see that. So the thing is, which bundle is best? F bundle, C bundle, E bundle, D or A or B, whatever. Which bundle is best over here? So जितना मैंने अभी बताया, you can answer that too, like whatever I taught till now. So indifference curve analysis. Indifference curve analysis is what? A very popular, easier and scientific method of explaining consumers' demand in the indifference curve analysis. So it is approach for the consumer behavior is based on consumer preference. Now human satisfaction is a psychological phenomenon which cannot be measured in terms of monetary terms. It is a psychological phenomenon. We are just deciding our choices by here. Like it cannot be measured in monetary terms that we are getting this much of satisfaction with a like cola bottle, or we are getting this much of satisfaction from a sub. So this approach is more elastic in order preferences. We want to just say that if we are consuming cola or sub or like whatever the burger, then in how much combination I want to choose that. Like do I want to take 2 colas or 5 burgers, or just 1 cola and like 10 burgers, or whatever the choices I make. The consumer preference approach is therefore an ordinal concept based on ordering of preferences compared to the Marshall approach of cardinality. So we are just saying that we are ordering our preferences. Now indifference curve is what? It is a locus of the some points, particularly combinations of bundles of code. So we already know that we have these different combinations of bundles of code, which yield the same sort of utility or level of satisfaction to the consumer. So whatever we choose, maybe we choose 10 colas and one burger, or one burger or 10 colas, like 10 burgers or one cola. So it just yields us the same level of satisfaction. So to indifference curve, every point on that indifference curve will be giving us the same level of satisfaction. So that he is indifferent as to particular combinations he consumes. So the points, different points, they are indifferent. The consumer is indifferent between these points, among these points on the indifference curve. So in other words, an indifference curve is a graph showing combination of two goods that gives the consumer equal satisfaction and utility. Each point on the indifference curve indicates that a consumer is indifferent between the two and all points given the same utility. So what is the utility? We are taking as a function of X consumption and Y consumption. These are the two commodities, and we are just considering that. Okay. So the consumer is indifferent on the indifference curve. So whatever choice he is making on the indifference curve, he is happy with that. It is giving him a same level of satisfaction. Assumptions. Before going to the assumptions, first I will just show you this. So these are the ICs, IC1, IC2, IC3. So that is different indifference curve. We know that higher the indifference curve, higher the satisfaction. Lower the indifference curve, lower the satisfaction. And here the quantity of good A and good Y, like whatever the good X or Y, we are having the different sort of combination. On IC curve 3, we are getting this much of Y and this much of X. Here we are getting this much of Y and this much of X. So, there are two different combinations, two different bundles, but it is on the same IC curve, like this point and this point. It is of the same IC curve. So till now we got that, but first we will go back again to the assumptions. But in between, I just want to check your comments, if any, because when I want to have the break for my thought. So I'll just show the comments. So I hope you're getting my point. Like on the indifference curve, we have same sort of what. Satisfaction we are getting. Just a minute, I'm just opening the question and answer thing. Yeah, please add me in the WhatsApp group. Dear, I'm not in the WhatsApp group, and I won't say it again and again that I'm not in the WhatsApp group, but there is a group on the team. Say to the peer group, please मैम के साथ आप लोग कोई भी जिसके पास भी अभी लिंक अवेलेबल हो, प्लीज आप उससे लिंक शेयर करें. So मैम also can join. Send the PDF. I have already sent the PDF. Please find it over there because there are too many chats. If I will be sending again and again, it is already uploaded over there on Team link, whatever I had shared with you guys. Bhavesh. So any person, like any technical person who can help Bhavesh, he is not able to join the team group. Please can what again? Okay, ma'am, my dashboard is showing that this is the last class of economic for Sem 1. We will go for, because we have missed I think 3 or 4 classes, so we will go for that. It will be continued, don't worry. We will because we had missed some of the classes, we will pass some other classes, okay? We will make some classes, don't worry. So I'm a working person and I could not be able to took the January classes, and there are not any recorded on the website, they said. Okay, Angad, there's one thing that if you're the part of the group, my PPTs are available over there, and I had shared ManQ, that is a reading, and I had also shared the syllabus. So please, you just wait for the classes to be uploaded, because the classes will be uploaded sooner or later. That's a technical team work. So we are just teaching over here, they're recording our classes, and we will provide you that. Just have a patience, and meanwhile just join the team group. Okay, any student who is hearing me and they have the link of that group, please share what I had shared in earlier class. Is there any group of economics on WhatsApp? I have already said several times, no WhatsApp group and no Telegram group. There is a team group that you have to join. Okay. Ma'am, send the group link. If I'll send the group link, I have to again go back to the calendar, and meanwhile I don't want to disturb this team software. Professor, which unit chapter you're teaching us? I think right now I'm in unit 2nd, and I'm teaching you the consumer behavior. We had completed till now theory of demand, theory of supply, elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply. We had dealt with exceptions of demand. Now we had started consumer behavior, in which we had already discussed marginal utility. Right now we are teaching, I am teaching about indifference curve. Okay. Absolutely, classes offline hongi kya? That we don't have any order till now, guys. So I can. Rishabh, I'm again saying no Telegram, no WhatsApp. You have to join just this team group. So good afternoon. CBA not fully spending income. That's very good, Anuradha. Thank you for answering that question. And obviously the point F and E, if you remember, that is on the budget line. So we can actually, go for the F combination or the E combination. But in CBA combination, we are not fully spending our income. So because we have to exhaust our income into two good choices or whatever the bundles we try to choose. So actually we are choosing E or F rather than CBA. Thank you, Anuradha, for answering. E. Okay. E and F both. Is bundle E the best choice? Yes, Asdak, E and F, because they both points are on the budget line. Okay, so any other bundles, they are underspent their income. B, no. F, yes, Devansh, sorry. And is bundle E is the best choice. Yes, E and F both are the best choices. E, D, F, bundle fully spending income. D is not touching that budget line. देखो बेटा आंसर हो, यहाँ पे दोबारा repeat कर लो. Okay, again. Okay, bundle, no, not C bundle at all. Because whenever we are actually underspending our income, we are talking over here that we are exhausting our income into goods. Okay, so we are talking about a best possible choice with our budget constraint. Please send PDF. So I have already done that. Please find in the group here. How I find PPT. Vishal, yeah. So Vishal, when you will go on the team, in the chats itself, you will see shared by my name, that my name is Neha. So you can just check over there. So in the group chat, you can find my PPTs over there. Yes, I will repeat, no idea. I will repeat. IC is tangent to budget line. Where IC is tangent to the budget line, that is definitely a consumer's optimal choice we are talking about, okay? Sachin, okay. No, yeah, budget line is tangent to the IC curve. I totally get it. Whatever. Link of team group. I'll try to share it again. Okay, guys. Various exams starting. Exam will happen after March only. I'm sharing. Add you guys in the group. I can just share you the link. Okay. The adding part can be done through the technical team. I'm not in the technical team. I'm just teaching you guys over here. Whatever the problem you are sharing with me, I can just pass it on to the technical team. But I cannot add you personally. Okay. That is the team, and team has been made by only the technical team. I don't have any idea about the online or offline exam now. So be patient, guys. Don't think, just start studying. OB se bore ho chuke ho gaya aap log. So just try to prepare for the offline. I want to access PPTs. So if you can access Rishabh, if you are the part of the group, you can access the PPTs. You can just simply download it. Or guys, you can just share, if anybody can share the link of the group over here. The group already, please share the link of the group over here. It is, I think, BAHENGEGEE group, I think. So I'll just again share the group. 6th group, which of the form is economic group. On clicking the group, the name of that group is BAHEN, I think. Yeah, Anuradha, even I will try to share. Just a minute. Ma'am, team group bhi hai kya? Recommend ke mujhe add. Ma'am, team group. Yes, team group hai, but I cannot add. But I can just share the link. Okay. No worry. Yeah, Priya had done that. If you got it, so I'll just copy it from here. Thank you, Priya, for doing that. And I'm making an announcement, guys, right now, so you can just join this group. Okay. So I have again shared. Thank you, Priya, for sharing it. Vikash, that manual reading I had shared with you, first you have to go through the syllabus and you will see what topics will be coming, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and you have to just finish that. I don't know about that because this is a question and answer session and this is a live event, guys. Okay, so this is live event. That's why only you can see these chats only when you are live. When the class will be in the end, you cannot see that. Okay. After the ending of the class, you cannot see these links and these chats also. Nidhi, it's not on Google Classroom code. This is not a Google Classroom here. This is a Microsoft Team we're using, and this is a Microsoft Team link. Okay, Kushi. So technical team, Subhanshi, if you can hear me right now, there are some people and who are unable to join. Please help them. I think Bhavesh, Kushi, and there are some other persons who are unable to join the group. Please help them. Yes, please tell us the syllabus of upcoming exam. Vikash, I have already shared that in the group itself. Okay. The syllabus I had shared, reading I had shared, all the 5 or 6 PPTs till now, whatever I have taught, I had shared that in the group. Find the group and then find it. Okay. So we'll go back again. Yeah, I'll show you that diagram again. So we were talking about this diagram. So the people who answered E and F, that is right. E and F is like fully exhausting the budget line. But if you will see D is not, it is just touching, but it is not on the budget line. It is little bit below on the budget line, like below the budget line. So these CBA, we are not choosing these CBA and D also because we are not fully spending our income on these bundles. So we are choosing F bundle or we are choosing E bundle because that is on the budget line. We are actually totally exhausting our income over here. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you guys now. And now we'll go for the assumption of indifference curve. Like for any theory, we have to make some assumptions. Now, assumptions of the indifference curve we talk about, that is like a consumer is rational. So consumer is rational and he is actually choosing the two commodities. So whenever we are talking about, the indifference curve, we are talking about the two commodities and, bundles of the two commodities. Utility is ordinal, means the utility we are getting, we can just say that higher the number of or the quantity of the product, higher the budget line, higher the indifference curve, we can have the higher utility. So diminishing marginal rate of substitution. That is very important to understand. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution, just because of that, we have convex indifference curve. Convex means, now when you will go back over here, if you want this much of good Y, you are getting this much of good X. But if you want more of good X, if you have to increase these goods, then you have to forego this quantity of good Y. So when you are getting this much of good Y, you are getting this much of good X. When you are getting only this much of good Y, you are increasing the number of X. So whenever we are talking about diminishing marginal rate of satisfaction, it means if we are having one good, like in a more quantity, we have to give up the quantity of another good. And slowly, like the choice for giving up, it diminishes. Like we don't want to give up anything more. Suppose I will give you one example that maybe the entertainment and study. If you are studying too much, like you had it, you are having 5 hours or 6 hours of study and you are just getting 2 hours of entertainment. Or if you want to decrease the study hours and want to increase the entertainment hours. So when you will like from 6 hours, when you will decrease your study hours to 5 hours, you can get like 3 hours of entertainment. But when if you are giving it more, like giving up, like when giving up a study, like maybe just 3 hours of a study, you are increasing your 5 hours of entertainment. But when you will give up more and more study, then you will not be satisfied. You will think that, okay, my study is getting hampered. I cannot have more entertainment. I have to maintain my study time also. So you are just managing. So your willingness of giving up study more and more for the entertainment, it diminishes. Before you wanted to give up, like just, okay, I will teach you like later on too. In other slides, I'm just giving you the brief over here. So total utility of the consumer depends on the quantities of the commodities consumed. So whatever we are consuming, the total utility is derived from that. Consistency and transitivity of the choice. Suppose Karo, if I'm actually liking an apple right now, so I'll not choose orange over it. Like if I'm saying apple is better than orange, then definitely I'm choosing apple only. So there should be a consistency in my choice. And transitivity is what? Transitivity means like whenever we are choosing an apple, then orange, or over and then orange over banana. So we are choosing apple over banana. Like apple is better than orange and orange is better than banana. Then apple is obviously better than banana. So that is called transitivity. So consumer is consistent. Consumer know about the situation, what bundles he has, what bundle he can choose. So he has a full knowledge. Now when we talk about, so these are the assumptions of the indifference curve. When we talk about the property, what does we mean by the property? That is negative downward sloping. Negative downward sloping and the convex. Okay, convex to the origin means to gain 1 unit of commodity, you have to forego or give up the another commodity. So further away from the origin, indifference curve shows that higher satisfaction. So जैसे ऊपर होगा, that will be just a minute. I think you guys are okay. Got it, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, Anuradha. So much I joined the group. Okay, Anuradha. That's great. Ma'am, group is not. Because if you guys are not joining with team ID, you have to join with the team ID what SOL had given you. Okay. So if some people had not been able to join till now, you please see your ID first. That from which ID you are joining. Okay. I think because other people are able to join, and why you are not able to. So just check your ID first. Please enter a join request. Okay, that I have to do. Okay, I'll just see it because. Okay. Mohammed Kamran. Okay, Kamran, I've already done. I've already shared the things. Please find out in the chat box, like whatever the chats are available on the group, because group पे बहुत सारी chats आई हुई हैं. So even I did not mug up my mind over there. I just uploaded the PPTs and just came out. Because you people are talking about different things too over there. Okay, Rishabh, okay, that's good that you had got the PPTs. Okay, I requested the group join me too. Okay, Tanveer, I'll see that. When will be like if I can approve you guys, then I will definitely do it from my side. If that is in the hand of the technical team, then I will convey it to them. Okay. Make saving. See, Mohammed Kamran, yeah, you asked very good question. That budget line is what? Budget line, we are exhausting on the two goods. So we are making the assumptions. We are making assumption that on the we are totally exhausting our budget on two commodities. We are choosing the best possible what we can have. We are not talking about the saving word. We are not talking about taking loans and afford something else. Like we are not talking about our budget line is this and we are affording car just by taking a loan. So we are not doing that. We are assuming that our budget is will be consumed in these two goods. So assumptions. Whenever we go for some theories, we make some assumptions in the group. Like for any theory, sorry. So how can we get the PPT? Okay, Vikash, it's in the chat. Please find it out. Priyanshu, Vikash, and I think Tanvar and Kamran. If I can approve you, then I will definitely approve you guys. Okay? If that will be done by the technical, I will inform them. Can you upload these videos in our group too? Definitely. No, videos I cannot do. Videos, this recording is not with me. I am just here. I'm teaching you guys. Okay? SOL is doing that. The technical team is doing that. They will share I think they will upload the PPTs on the website itself. Okay. So I'll again go back to the slides and I think just let's finish it. So we have properties of the indifference curve, that is a negative downward sloping, that is a curve, and further away from the origin, the higher the indifference curve, higher the satisfaction, and indifference curve does not intersect. But our indifference curve intersect क्यों नहीं करता? Because if two intersect will be they cut down each other. So it means that two indifference curves can show the same level of satisfaction. But we are saying higher the indifference curve, higher the satisfaction. So at every different indifference curve, we are having the different sort of satisfaction level. So here we have different satisfaction, here we have different satisfaction, and here also we have different satisfaction. So these cannot intersect. Intersect इसलिए नहीं करेंगे, otherwise दोनों का satisfaction level it will be the same. We are not saying that. We have made the assumption they will not intersect. Higher, like farther away from the origin, this is the highest indifference curve. That is a higher satisfaction. Okay. So now we will talk about any other things too. Now this is the indifference curve. Here, a level of utility is associated with each indifference curve. Means whatever the satisfaction we are getting from it, if we will have another IC curve, we will get different sort of satisfaction from that. Now all combination of x and y. Up now this is the IC. So x or ये चीज जो भी goods हैं A or B. So all combinations of x and y or the A and B, the curve are preferable of the combination. The individual is indifferent between all combination of A and B. So goods B here, goods A here. So we can just choose this combination. We can choose this combination. We can choose this combination or whatever. We have to just align the vertical lines and we have to combine this horizontal lines also. So these are the horizontal lines and these are the vertical lines. So we will make any sort of combination on this, and just point per we will choose that will be giving us the same level of satisfaction. Okay, if this is A, or maybe if there is a B point, consumer will be indifferent between A and B, so he can choose any one. Now indifference curve, yeah, again another example. So here we can just see that A, B, C, D, E. On A we are just consuming 12 of this is what 12 of clothing and just one food. Here we are choosing 6 units of clothing and 2 units of food. Here we are choosing 4 units of clothing and 5 units of or 3 units of food. Here just 2 units of clothing and having 4 units of food. So these are the different points, different choices, different bundles, but it is on the same IC curve. That's why it is giving us the same level of satisfaction. Now why MRS? If we want more of clothing, we have to give up food because our income is limited. So if we want more of food, we have to decrease the consumption of clothing. So here you will see food and clothing. Suppose करो just 1 unit of food में आप 12 clothing afford कर पा रहे हो. So there is MRS 0. Here if you want to increase like 2 units, आपको 2 units food की चाहिए, then you have to decrease the 6 units of clothing. Then MRS is 12 upon 6 is like was 2 upon 12 upon 2 is equal to 6. So now you want third unit of food. So you have to actually get rid of like 6 minus 4, 2 MRS. Here you will get fourth unit, then you have to give up more of clothing again. Now 3 units, 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. So this is the MRS we count from here, that is a marginal rate of substitution, that to get one more unit of clothing or more unit of food, you have to give up the units of clothing. And you can just see over here, this is the MRS and this is diminishing. First you are giving up 6 units of clothing, then you are giving up 2 units, then you are giving up 1 unit. So your MRS, marginal rate of substitution, is diminishing. Means now you don't want to give up much more clothing because of the food. So these are the indifference curve, combinations of goods situated on an indifference curve yield higher level of satisfaction and are preferred combinations on the lower level. This is the lower satisfaction, this is the maximum satisfaction. Now, marginal rate of satisfaction we had already seen now. It is prepared to exchange good X for Y. So how much good X you are willing to give up to get more of Y. So the marginal rate of substitution will be the same regardless of the direction and change. It will corresponding to the slope. अब जितना slope ज़्यादा होगा, definitely उतना हमारा जो marginal rate of substitution होगा ज़्यादा होगा. Otherwise, if we have the straight line, just think about that straight line. So जितना हम ये give up करेंगे, उतना ही हमें ये gain होगा. So like we are giving up 1 unit, we are getting 1 unit. If we are giving up 2 units, we are getting a 2 unit. So that means a straight line. So slope defines the indifference curve marginal rate of substitution. What is this? Now, if that is asked in the exam, you will say that a person consumes 1 unit of food and 12 units of clothing or whatever. So you will just define that. I had already told you in earlier example. So you will say the willingness to give up more and more unit of good X to get more and more unit of Y diminishes with time. Okay. So he is moving that here when we were talking about this section. So at A combination, he is choosing 1 food and 12 clothing, and on B he is choosing 2 food, 6 clothing. So now it is diminishing. He is the giving up clothing. It is diminishing. That is a marginal rate of satisfaction. So he is indifferent between A, B, C, D, but his MRS on A, B, C, D is diminishing. Marginal rate of satisfaction. If we see the graph over here, you can just see the red line. Okay, so we are seeing many indifference curves which is above the budget line. So you have to remember, we cannot afford these indifference curves, these choices, whatever the choices we get from the higher, because we cannot afford it. Our budget line is tangent to the green IC curve, and that is the highest IC curve we can achieve. So we cannot go beyond that. And lower curve हम लोग नहीं choose करेंगे because that is giving us the less satisfaction. So we will be choosing this green indifference curve. Okay. And MUX about utility maximization. So whatever the utility I'm getting from good X, that is means MUX upon PX. Like whatever the marginal utility we are getting from the X good and upon its price. So and it is equal to MUY is equal to PY. So utility का maximization rule है. So that is means MUX upon PX is equal to MUY upon PY. Here we are having the best satisfaction. So that is on the indifference curve. Conclusion, we will go for that. Thus the consumer will be at equilibrium at point Q. At IC3 the consumer will buy OM of good X. So if you can just see here, OM of good X and ON of good Y, because that is a budget line and it is constraining us to just get to this higher indifference curve. Okay, so marginal utility of X is equal to marginal utility of Y. It should be the same. So whatever the price we are paying for the good X, whatever price we are paying for the good Y, and whatever the utility we are getting from it, it should be equal. Okay, so and another thing, that indifference curve gives us the same level of satisfaction. Higher the indifference curve, higher the satisfaction, and the important concept on the one is that is marginal rate of substitution that you have to remember. Now again, I'll just see we have 2 minutes left. Can you upload these videos in our group too? Another I had done. I had already done. Just check out the earlier chats. कैसे questions आएंगे? They can ask about the marginal utility, and they can ask about what is the marginal rate of substitution. They can ask about the indifference curve properties and assumptions. They can ask definitely the long questions. Okay. Yes, Manq Priya, I have shared in the group Manq का reading here that you can read. Okay. If you want to go for the SOL material, you can go for that. But Manq also is the best book. IC cannot be 0. Yeah, IC cannot be 0. IC. Why? Because we have some income and we are expanding on 2 goods. Why will make it 0? इंटरसेक्ट इसलिए नहीं करेंगे, देखो अगर 2 कर्व इंटरसेक्ट कर रहे, लाइक सपोज करो एक कर्व ये है और ये उसको इंटरसेक्ट कर दिया, सो 2 कर्व्स एक जगह तो एक सेम लेवल ऑफ सैटिस्फैक्शन दे रहा ना, बट आवर assumption, what is our assumption? 2 indifference curve says that we are having the different level of satisfaction or different IC curves. So when they will intersect, so definitely दोनों same ही level का satisfaction दे रहा है. So that's why they will not intersect. We are assuming already higher the indifference curve, higher the satisfaction. Questions ऐसे आएंगे, explain the property of indifference curves and everything, and what is MRS. On teams are not opening now. Last time they were opening, but as of now they are not. Shruti, I'll try to look into this, but I think it should be open. मेरी side से upload हो चुके हैं. No, we will increase the classes. Okay, don't worry, because we haven't completed the syllabus till now. We have missed some classes, so we will proceed the classes again. Yes, Mankyu try करिए. Mankyu book is really good. Okay, so you can Anuradha, you can write, from reading that, and my PPTs can help you in writing, in understanding the concept. Okay, guys, for now it's already 1 because we have another like a team ke paas or another class over here, so I have to go. So take care, guys, and I will try to upload the PPTs again. Okay, and I will look into the matter like if people are not able to join. Okay, thank you. Take care.